Hello everyone, good morning, welcome back to Gwent. My name is Rooster and this is an interesting deck. It has started to show up in the past few weeks, well, one and a half week basically. And it has been featured in the tournament from last weekend quite a bit. So I thought I'd highlight it just before it becomes... Well, actually this is one of the decks that is unlikely to become obsolete immediately with the release of Nilfgaard, I think. So the deck might take a few hits, but we'll have to see about that. The idea behind the deck, first of all, the deck started out as a bit of a gimmick deck by, I think it was McBeard, who started with a deck but basically focused on buffing Eredin to quite a high life total, strength, whatever, and then riding that to victory by removing everything your opponent has. And then Swim took the deck and tinkered a lot with it, basically removed all of the removal spells and added a bunch of more resilient minions that can also stay over the course of multiple rounds, and that is basically the thing with the deck right now. So we have Witchers along with Swallow Potions, which can get quite big, but are unfortunately a little vulnerable to weather from your opponent. We have a set of Ancient Foglets, as well as First Lights to bring them out of the deck. Wild Hunt Riders also immune to Frost, so not at all bad targets to buff with Potions and Adrenaline Rush. Thunderbolt Potion mostly to combo with the Wild Hunt Rider should they survive, which they do not. They don't survive a lot, but occasionally they do, and then they're pretty good. And the idea in general is to make one or two or perhaps even three really big dudes and keep them over the course of multiple rounds, either with the monster passive or with the help of Adrenaline Rush. And yeah, it's basically a bit of a gimmick deck, making use of people not running a lot of hard removal for resilient, weather immune stuff. So yeah, let's take it for a bit of a spin. I haven't played a lot of ranked over the past 2 weeks, so I would like to get up to rank 12 at least, because the rank 12 rewards are pretty decent, and I think that's as high as I'll go before the new patch hits. At which point, no, there won't be a ranked reset for that release, I think. So we may even take it a little further, but the rewards after rank 12 are a little underwhelming, perhaps compared to the reward for rank 12, which is 800 scraps. And 800 scraps, of course, is a legendary of your choice, which is pretty awesome. And after that, I think you gain something like 4 kegs, 5 kegs, 600 ore, which is all nice and dandy and very much appreciated, but perhaps not worth really going ham and spending hours and hours grinding the ladder for. So let's see how we can do. We're circling around 2700 MMR, I think. First of all, mulligans. Let's throw away a Wild Hunt Rider first of all, and then I think we're going to stick with throwing away Eskel, and that may look a little odd, but yeah, I don't need the Ancient Foglets. Basically, every First Light that you keep is also an Ancient Foglet, because it's the only thing we'll ever find, unless you're not playing your Wild Hunt Riders, which will be odd. I'm expecting these guys to get removed, but if they don't, that's actually kind of awkward, so yeah, we'll go for it anyway. Just to get them out of the deck, because drawing them is actually really awkward. Now, Avalach against Koyatel is a bit of a tricky card to use. We'll have to see if we get a good opportunity for that. I don't like sticking the Ancient Foglet right now, but I guess we can just Swallow Potion and Adrenaline Rush one of those guys, and that'll be fine. We don't want to run the risk of not keeping the target where we're adrenaline rushing though, so that's definitely something to consider. Uses it on Roach. We don't have any removal right now, so let's not worry ourselves too much about that. We could go for the Commander's Horn here, although I don't like it a lot. Let's just go with the Adrenaline Rush and then perhaps an early pass. We'll have to see. Perhaps we'll throw some weather to make our opponent's lives a little harder, going all in on the Roach, which is really risky against monsters. What if I have a Caretaker in my hand? I'm not sure about that. I don't mind bringing out one Ancient Foglet since we have another, and that seems like a good use of our time. So let's go with that. Could be a little scary in case our opponent runs weather, but that's a risk we're going to have to take, I think.
I need to smoke.
Another great target for Caretaker. If we were playing Gals here, we would have a field day, I think. But could go up to 30, actually 40 with a Commander's Horn. But if we're going to use Commander's Horn, then I would like to also use Eredin. And we don't really have that as one of our options. Our opponent hasn't used any First Lights yet, have they? No, they have not. So in that case, we could actually use Avalok here, since we have already skipped on our Wild Hunt Riders. I don't really like it, but we do have to commit at least 10 strength to the board to really do anything. And I don't want to commit too many units, so I guess we'll use Avalok here, even though it's not optimal to use him as early against the Scoia'tael opponent, because they usually want to go really ham on their deck size, and you can usually actually deny them a draw by doing that. But just giving them one draw from a deck that has not been thinned yet, except by bringing out Roach and using the King of Daggers, I guess that's actually fine. And drawing the Thunderbolt potion here is actually pretty good, because that makes the Commander's Horn also look a lot more enticing.
I'll feed you to the crowd.
And also getting an additional weather card is good, because once our opponent has used all of their First Lights, then one of them is going to stick. So that is pretty good. We could also... Well, if we Thunderbolt here, and then we're going up to 29 power in the melee row, so that means we're 35, and then 29 in addition would bring us up to parity. And I would really like to use the Thunderbolt potion on the Wild Hunt Riders right now. So that is nice. We're getting the Avalok back. That is perfectly fine. Our opponent seems to be struggling with their mercenaries, which is good news for us. We kinda don't want to use the Witchers, but since we did draw one, they might get stuck in our hand during the late game. And since our opponent does want to drag out the first turn, I guess we could go for this. With the Commander's Horn, still a pretty big swing, and we really want to take the first round here. Because the thing we would most like to do in the second round is just to... Well, if you're going to frost your own melee row, then that's okay with me. Since that wasn't particularly great, should we just pass here? I don't mind keeping a Witcher, I don't mind keeping a Foglet, and I don't mind keeping a Wild Hunt Rider either. I think I like that. We could also weather them right back and expect them to clear it up for us, but... I'm expecting a Lacerate here. How punishing is Lacerate right now? That would deal 9, that would deal 12, which is not enough. So unless they mercenary into a Lacerate, I think we're okay passing here. Especially since we do get 15 plus at least 6 power for the next round, so that's okay. Yavin into Frost is a little annoying, and we might see a Lacerate come out regardless, but I guess that's kind of okay.
I trust no one.
Because we're actually... Oh, that is... Yeah, Milva is annoying against this deck. But a lot of Scoia'tael players have actually removed Milva from their deck, so that is not something you see too often, and at least we're not getting it. We're not getting Nilfgaard again this game, but that was awkward, to say the least. Let's see, Aromancy and Nilfgaard. Yeah, both of those cards haven't seen a lot of play in Scoia'tael this lately, so that is the main reason why this deck has risen to popularity, I think. So we need a target to stick this round, and we would also like to use some weather, I think. So let's try and go for that. We can kill Roach, but then they can bring her back out with just the use of one card, so that's not that good. Maybe if we had used our Commander's Horn last round, then we would have been in a better spot.
Let's enjoy the weather while we still can.
But we should still be reasonably okay here. And buffing Roach is not the smartest idea, I think. How do we feel about weather right now? I don't know. Still only one first light used. That's really odd. Should we just kill Roach right now? I think I want to keep Eithné for a later turn. Adrenaline Rush should be pretty safe, and if our opponent passes, then we can just weather and win the round that way, right? Not quite in one card, but spending 2 cards is probably okay. And I don't expect our opponent to pass here, since they still have a lot of thinning to do. It's kind of unfortunate that they did draw their Siri Dash this early. Okay, so no more specials in deck. That means that their hand is First Light, Lacerate, Decoy. We haven't seen a Decoy yet, have we? So there is definitely a First Light in hand, but I think they'll use it on a rally pretty soon. Maybe not. Should we just Commander's Horn here? It does carry over to the next round, and we're not getting any additional benefit out of it, I think, so this is probably okay.
I was hoping you'd say that.
I don't think a Scoia'tael deck will run both Eithné and Milva nowadays. If they did, we could be in for a bad time, but that's just the way things go, I think. What do we want to commit? We want to commit a weather card, I think. Skellige Storm going to be pretty strong. We kind of need one of those to stick, though, which I don't like. How about we force out a gold card? Eithné is always going to be used to kill Roach, and they kind of don't want to commit a gold card right now. Especially if it's only to make up... well, I guess they do. I was going to say, especially if they... oh, that's an awkward row. But I guess we can Skellige Storm and then push. Is that still enough? We need to make up 26 power in difference, and we're only getting 12 and 2. That's 14 power from Skellige Storm, so that's not good. We could be in trouble here. We might just have to wait for our opponent to pass, really. That's going to be awkward, but it's the only way we're going to make this work, I think. They still have some thinning to do. So there's the first light, and that means they only have a Glice left, because Eithné has already been used. So that means... I could Aromancy for Fog, which I expect to get cleared, and if not, then we can push the melee row in, which is good. That should definitely be enough, and if not, then we can Skellige Storm and do the same thing. So that should be fine. Let's Fog here, and see if they clear. I'm expecting a Glice to come out if they have it in hand, and if not, then it's the last card in their deck. So we know that much. We still have to commit one more card, but that card is either going to be Skellige Storm or... Okay, there's the decoy on... I don't remember what the decoy was used on. I actually like First Lighting here, I think, because we're not interested in clearing any weather this matchup, I think. So... they could also pass. If they pass, what happens if they pass? I think that's fine. We don't want to art right now. We would rather they pass, actually. Yes.
Dance of death!
Okay, so use the commando there. That is fine. That means that now we can push. And we can still Skellige Storm afterwards. The push should be enough, I think. We still have this Wild Hunt Rider, which I really don't want to use right now. Because if there's something we don't want to keep, it's that card. So let's art. Roach could come back out with another gold card, so that could be awkward, but it might not be enough. So I'm pretty happy with this result. Alright. And we get to keep Eredin plus another dude. Not the strongest one, but I'm still pretty happy with how things went here. And our cards are not the worst, so that's also okay-ish. They could have a Glice, but they can clear weather regardless, I think. How are their minions? They've used all of the commandos, all of the blue mountains. There's still a Lacerate, I think, but that's not going to do a whole lot. They know we still have this, so we might as well use it first. There's gonna be a Lacerate, but that's okay. Or they're not running Lacerate, and that would be curious, but yeah, that happens sometimes, I guess. Swallow Potion, don't really care. They're going to clear this weather anyway, so might as well just use it right now. Perhaps get a buff for our Ancient Foglet out of it. And perhaps catch a Roach with it. If they don't... Yeah, they're going to have to clear this, because otherwise Roach gets wrecked. And then the last card for them is going to be... how's their strength? We're equal right now, so if they have Siri Dash, we've lost. They had Milva, they had... they already used Yorvet, so that's good. Yorvet, Milva, Dash, and a Glice. So if it's Lacerate, we win. If it's Siri Dash, we lose. That's unfortunate, but that's the best we could get. That Milva really hurt us. So if this is... Yes, indeed. Alright, so that was a 50-50, but turned out to be a pretty good game. And I think there was a lot that went wrong for us during that game. So that goes to show that that Scoia'tael is definitely a deck that is being targeted by the truer King Eredin. Okay, so let's see if we can find some more Scoia'tael, because that seemed like a decent matchup. And there's a number of other decks that really don't have a lot of ways to deal with a really big dude on the board, so that's pretty great. That is, though, a reason for example, my Scoia'tael deck right now to actually include Geralt Igni, because this deck has been gaining a lot of popularity over the past few days on the ladder.
Test my patience.
Radovid. Well, we don't see a lot of Radovid, but this could be interesting. We've actually seen some PFI decks, some poor infantry decks running Radovid, which is cute. Do we wish to keep... Let's throw away Vesemir first, and then Wild Hunt Rider, and then what do we not want to draw right now? I guess we could throw away one Swallow Potion, couldn't we? Perhaps Avalach is bad against... I don't like throwing away gold cards, but I do think that's the correct choice right now. It's odd. So basically, you don't really need the Witchers to win a game, which is why we're actually throwing them away. And the only way Witchers are bad is by keeping both of them. Perhaps keeping both of the Adrenaline Rushes is also wrong, by the way, but... I mostly don't want to see them during the third round. That's a pretty big thing. Since a Lacerate was used, I think we're going Witchers here. Because that's a pretty decent board, as well as a pretty good target for the Swallow Potion, which I like a lot. So we can use a Swallow Potion on one of the 6s. Using it on one of the 6s just to diversify strength and to basically, well, to lessen the blow. If they have Eithné, then I would rather them kill an 18 than kill a 19. And if they don't kill it, then the difference is pretty negligible. So let's Adrenaline Rush and see if our opponent wishes to commit any more to the board right now. Because I would be pretty happy with this result regardless. I'm thinking of just going Commander's Horn right now. Or we could go with another Swallow Potion, since I don't think he would have used Radovid if he had Eithné in hand. So let's take a little bit of a risk here and Swallow Potion Eskel again. This is Eskel, right? Yes, there we go. Since I think the chances of him having Eithné right now are rather slim, and this is a pretty good position for us, so I'm liking where we're at. And so the plan for the next round is simply to do the same dance again. We Adrenaline Rush on Eskel and we do nothing. Or perhaps we play Avalach here. I don't mind that. Let's actually go with... I'm looking at these two first lights in my hand, and that's a little awkward, to say the least. Let's actually use one of these first lights right now, just to make the chance of us drawing into the last Ancient Foglet a little lower. Since I don't mind keeping one first light to avoid nasty weather situations, I don't mind that at all. We might be fighting against 4 infantry, that is actually interesting. In that case, do I even want to give him any cards right now? Well, we could just go ham on this round, to be honest, but I kind of don't want to. I don't wanna actually use Avalach in a round that I don't care about giving up. Ooh, that's a good card if we're actually fighting poor infantry here. So that's cool. Decoy on Priscilla. He's playing really carefully right now. It's interesting. And also mildly concerning. Do I care about weather from his side? What did he play? Do we have any indication of what he's doing? Last Wish makes me think some kind of combo deck, which is concerning, but not much we can do about it. We should probably get the Adrenaline Rush out of the way soon-ish. Because these other cards, maybe the First Light. I don't like using the First Light when our opponent could still have some weather though. So we might just pass after our opponent plays another card here. If he's not really doing anything on the board. I'm really curious about what's going on with this deck right now. It's interesting. So yeah, this situation concerns me. Because if I draw into the Ancient Foglet, that's awkward. That's a 1 in 6. But if I use the First Light and then our opponent has weather, then I would probably rather... Oh, are we getting that back? We might be getting that back, actually. Our opponent is basically doing nothing, so I think what we're going to do is just pass here. Our opponent gets the first play, but if he's PFI, then we can actually Caretaker afterwards. He might be trying to draw into Eithné, though. I guess if he Ignis us, we still get to keep either a 7 or a 6, which is fine-ish. If he has drawn into Eithné though, then we're kind of in trouble. It appears he is not, so that's good. And Trebuchet is not a card you'd expect in a poor infantry deck, so that's also good. That means he's just in general control Radovid. He did manage to win in 2 cards, which I did not expect, but we do get to keep at least 22 power on the board, which is pretty great. So not too unhappy with how that went, and we're keeping the one in the melee row. I guess that's good? I don't know. So we might want to hang on to this first light in case of weather, I think. He still has... Oh, he has Avalach in his graveyard. Alright, so he might be planning to resurrect that. That I don't like, but that's just gonna be a thing that happens, I'm afraid. We don't have a lot of ways to interact with that, unless he buffs it and then we can Eithné it, but that seems highly unlikely. I guess we could Thunderbolt and then Eithné it if he should let us, but that's also not the ideal play. Let's just start with the Ancient Foglet and perhaps weather afterwards. We'll have to see. He has already used a First Light, so perhaps he doesn't run another. It's also possible he's not expecting any weather from us. Hard to say for now. Definitely hard to say. We could... What are we reanimating? See, that's the reason I was examining his graveyard. We could absolutely resurrect... Oh, well, I was going to say we could resurrect Avalach, but it appears he was ahead of us. I'm not sure that's the effect he was hoping for, though. I'm a little concerned about weather from his side, so this Swallow Potion looks nice, but perhaps it's better used on something a little more resilient, unfortunately. Is there anything we desperately need to Caretaker at this point? There's no... Oh, there is Priscilla, which is not bad. There is no way to kill that thing, right? No. There's no way to kill Ockfist, so in that case we should probably Eredin. Just to have the option of Commander's Horning soon. I think that's valid. So we're still sitting on 1 card of advantage, which is less than I would like. Usually you would like to be more ahead of your opponent in the 3rd round, or at least making him spend more cards during the 2nd round. But we do have a very, very reasonable board advantage, which I like.
Not a bad idea.
There comes the Priscilla, alright. Perhaps we should have stolen the Priscilla. That is a definite thing, and him playing Stennis here makes me really concerned about Frost coming down. So I'm definitely happy we kept this first light, although if he has a last round weather then we don't have an answer anymore. So that kinda sucks. Not much we can do about it though. So how about we should probably weather... It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter for Ockfist, right? We should probably weather in the turn where Ockfist returns to hand, because him replaying it into weather lets us resurrect the Trebuchet and shoot it. Yes. That seems valid. So what are we playing here? I don't hate Commander's Horn. Maybe we should have just swallowed potions on Eredin. But either keeping the swallow potion or...
you so, you idiot.
Ooh, that's a really poor play. Alright, so let's go with the weather now. So that means Ockfist is returned to hand right now, and if he replays it into weather, then we can resurrect the Trebuchet and shoot it. And he does, so that's nice. I think that's going to be the play, right? I don't see any better one right now. This seems extremely valid. And we should probably... well, he's going to Frost anyway, right? If he has Weather, he's going to Frost, so that the strength on that Medic doesn't matter. I would rather just clear out Nenneke in that case. I wonder whether we're getting any value out of Eithné this game. That's a curious thing. Anyway, this is looking like a decent game so far. We probably can't hang on to this first light for too long. So perhaps we should just go ahead and rally the last Ancient Foglets out of our deck, just so we can get some benefit out of the weather we played. I think I like that. Making them a little smaller, that's okay. So the Thunderbolt Potion we have here gets double value, which is great. Sitting on 104 and still not knowing whether you're going to win or not, that's that's an odd feeling, certainly. Because, well, basically Frost is going to wreck us pretty hard right now. And I'm hanging on to this Swallow Potion mostly because I'm expecting... oh, if he Ignies, then I don't think he has Frost. He would have Ignied on the ranged row if given the opportunity. So in that case, I think I'll use the potion on Vesemir here, just for a little bit of extra value. Demote's Caretaker, that is fine. We cannot get any value out of Igni, unfortunately, but he's just going to be a strength buffer, and that's fine. I don't think we could have finagled a way for us to actually make use of Igni right now. So let's see what his last final cards are. I can't imagine anything too amazing. So Rosh gives him... well, that's decent power. Ogfist is not going to trigger another time, and his last card is Shani, which should not be enough, I think. Trebuchet equals 6, removes 4, and a pretty clear lead. Alright. Oh, and that was every single card in his deck, so I guess he didn't run Aeromancy, or did he play Aeromancy in the first round and then we completely just missed it? That could be true. In each case, that was a nice game, and we're shooting up through the ranks, so that's great. Alright. Nearing that magical 3000 number. Let's play one more game and see what we'll find. So yeah, I think this is one of the few decks that might actually survive the updates coming next Monday relatively unscathed. So that's interesting. I don't think the deck will be good because the environment will be completely different. I don't know if you've seen any of the updates yet, but yeah, things are definitely up for a big shake-up. And that's going to be... oh, 4 golds, wow. Against Foltest, so we might actually throw away Avalach again. That might not be the worst idea. I like most of these cards, perhaps not the first light, so I don't mind mulliganing that. I think I'm going to throw away Avalach, and then Eskel also... yes, let's... not sure about that. Especially for throwing away... I don't know. That might have been wrong. That might have very well been wrong, but we'll have to see how it turns out. I don't have a Thunderbolt Potion either, so I'm feeling pretty bad about this. Maybe we should have kept Avalach around. How are we winning first round right now? Without any Witchers, without any... well, we'll see. Maybe we should have just passed early. Or have not played the Wild Wind Riders. That also seems awkward. Yeah, seeing as the lack of... looking at the lack of Adrenaline Rush in our hand right now, we probably should have kept Avalach in the opener. That might have been a bad call. We could definitely Aromancy at some point in the nearby future, or perhaps Skellige Storm. Perhaps we should have Skellige Stormed last turn. Yeah, come to think of it, we should have. We should have definitely done that. So how can we improve our situation right now? We need to make up for 21 strength. That's not going to be easy. Even if we swallow and then Commander's Horn, that means we get 8 and then 17. That's only 25, which you can do in one card. I don't like this situation at all. Yeah, probably a bad mulligan and a bad call last turn. If we had Skellige Storm, then we could have been in a much better position, unfortunately. I think we're just going to pass. Let's not give him the opportunity to filter his deck any further. And then resolve to not make that same mistake again next turn. He's done enough filtering, though. That's kind of the problem. He brought 2 and 2. That's 4 cards out of his deck already. I guess we also got 2, so that's okay. And that's pretty much exactly the cards we wanted to see. So that's pretty great. Kept the best card on the board too. So we might still be in it. Let's not throw in the towel too quickly here. Oh, that's interesting. Alright. Well, I don't mind that too much. Yeah, let's start with Witchers. Just so we have something to buff, because I would like to do some buffing today. And also, I would really hate to draw them next turn, so that's the thing.
Are you certain? I do it differently.
Alright. So he's looking for medics, I imagine? That's curious, actually. One would think they would start with that, but
You one of us or not?
turned out to be pretty okay for him. Wait, does he have 2 medics in hand? Why would you do that if you have 2 medics in hand? Perhaps he's lacking other targets. That's odd. That is really curious. I don't understand what's going on here, but we'll find out, I guess. I'm expecting the Skellige Storm to be very decent also this turn, so I like that. So for now, the plan is going to be Commander's Horn at some point, Adrenaline Rush at some point, and not really sure. There aren't any important targets in this graveyard right now, but if we're winning this round, then we could Caretaker early during the next one. So if he gets any demotes going, then that's definitely going to be a thing. And with him playing Stennis, I think he's going to want to pass soon. So let's just do the Adrenaline Rush right now and get Eithné, because Eithné is a rather common card, unfortunately, in that deck. But that's the risk of using the Swallow Potion rather early, unfortunately. What is in his hand that he... Well, he has 2 medics, but for some reason he seems reluctant to play them. Perhaps he just doesn't want to commit anything into a round that we're going to go really hard on winning. Perhaps that's a thing. So is he going to pass here then? That wouldn't be unlikely, especially right after a Stennis, because this isn't making a whole lot of sense, to be honest. I don't want to commit any other units to the board, so I guess the Commander's Horn would make sense here. I kind of don't like using that while not having Eredin on the board, but in this case it makes sense, I think. Actually, Eredin does improve our board right now, so I guess it's kind of okay. As long as we're improving the average quality of the unit we're keeping for next round, I guess it's kind of okay. And we don't really care about our total strength this round, because we're expecting to win this one. So the Commander's Horn doesn't really do anything except drive in the nail, I guess. So, yeah, that is still going to be a thing. We have double weather for next turn, that's also kind of interesting. Now, if he's running Aromancy, then we could be in trouble. Because we've already used... Have we actually used the first light? No, we have not. We just haven't seen one. That is known to happen sometimes. Using a Sergeant? This is really odd. Am I expecting him to be able to win in 2 turns, though? Well, he can certainly win in 5 cards. So we should probably keep playing. In that case, do we commit the Skellige Storm or the Aromancy? I think Aromancy is good enough here. And I think it's going to be one of those cards, since I really don't want to play either of my golds. So let's go with Fog. I think that's good enough. The rain doesn't really add anything. And this might be enough for him to just clear it. Can he win in 4 cards? Suppose his cards are Yennefer, Eithné. If one of his cards is Eithné, then that's already a strength swing of 44. Then if another card is Yennefer, then we're probably in trouble. So if he has Eithné and Yennefer, then we're pretty dead on board. Can I win if he has Eithné and Yennefer? That's another question. I think we can. He's chosen to not demote them. So I guess he's scared of us caretakering him next round. That could be a thing. 55, so Eithné's going to be a 44. So he can't win with just Eithné, but I think Eithné plus 3 other cards could definitely do the trick. So in that case we should probably use Art now. Yes. Because we're not really killing anything important with it. If he wants to demote Yennefer, then that's fine, because we get to resurrect her first next round. And the medics don't matter. You can kill medics any day. Just be careful about killing anything important. He does demote Yennefer, alright. Can he still win with 3 cards? If he has Eithné, I don't think he can. I guess if he has Aromancy, but... Are we just conceding to Aromancy at this point? Or are we willing to play another card here? I don't think I'm willing to play another card here. Perhaps the weather is fine, though. I would like to keep the weather for next round. I don't think he can win with this. If he has Aromancy, he could win, but he has Murktabraki, so I don't think he has Aromancy. And if he has Eithné, I think he would have used it already. He's wasting resources pretty hard here. So he could Baron... I don't think there's a way for him to win that does not involve Eithné or Aromancy, and I don't think he has either of those. Alright, so that was a good pass in that case. Nice. It always feels very, very risky. But I liked it. Alright, how are we doing in the Ancient Foglets? We're doing fine. We can get another one. Alright. So let's start with that. Oh, shoot! Alright, well, we did win. But I completely forgot to caretaker Yennefer there. But that's okay, we did win. Alright, 3 wins in a row. I was not expecting this, but yeah, we made it happen, hooray. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.